Hey there, my name is Nolan. Welcome back to After Credit Reflection. I'm excited because on the road to Doomsday, I want to start with a movie that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Doomsday, but introduces us to one of the key actors that will play a significant role in Avengers Doomsday. Now, about a month away is the re-release of Avengers Endgame with some new footage, and it's being called Avengers Endgame Encore. Now, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm gonna go see it so that way I can see that new footage and I can tell you guys about it. But for now, let's cover the first Fantastic Four movie from 2005. So, before I start this, I just want to say thank you for showing up. It's not easy to show up to a guy just talking with no cool intro, no nothing. But I do have to say that I am working on my technical skills so that way I can make sure that you have the best experience possible. And in order to do that, you need to follow along with my journey. And to do that, you can just subscribe, or you can hit like, or share this video with somebody that you think will love my movie reflections. So, with all that said, let's get into it. So today we're talking about a very special movie, and one that is key to a later one on the road to Doomsday, which is actually one that Disney Plus recommended, Deadpool and Wolverine. But I'm not talking about Deadpool and Wolverine today. No, I'm talking about the 2005 Fantastic Four movie starring Chris Evans as the Human Torch. Goodness gracious, there's a lot to get into with this. Now, as you've probably figured out from this, I love film, and I love what it says. I even have this little AMC popcorn bucket pop figure. Yeah, I'm a movie nerd. But I also want to recognize that there are a lot of people that may not like movies or may not like going to movies, and that's completely fine. So I encourage you, when you do go watch a movie, or if you don't watch a movie, or even if you're like, I'm going to go watch this movie, but I need to check out a review first, I highly encourage you to watch my reflections, because I tend to dive a little bit deeper than most other review sites. So let's get into Fantastic Four. Now, I loved this movie as a kid growing up. And the reason I loved it is just because it is just pure fun. It is hitting that 2000s nostalgia where we had Ghost Rider, we had Blade, we had all these great Marvel movies, and then a couple years later, we had what is categorically one of the best superhero movies ever made, Iron Man. We're going to get into that later, but for right now, we're focusing on Fantastic Four. I loved this film and where they took the characters. I did read some of the comics before I originally saw this movie. Now, I didn't originally see it in 2005. I was way too young. I was only like 1 year old. But what I did see was when I was about 10 or 11 is when I did actually watch this movie for the first time. And I gotta say, that nostalgia does hit hard when you rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. Just because it is one of those films that's just fun throughout. It is very involved when it comes to comics. I think they nailed Chris Evans' portrayal. Like, Chris Evans nailed his portrayal of Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. And I think that just the texture, and yeah, the CGI is out of date, but it still is really cool to see somebody wearing a practical Thing costume. And even though it was heavy and it was hot and everything, and the actor who played the Thing, he lost 20 pounds, or at least 20 pounds per day putting on that costume. And so the dedication to the craft is there, even though if people just riff on it and rip it apart. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to also lean in this now into nostalgia. I'm going to be real with you. This is a bad movie in terms of effects, but in terms of storytelling, it is one of the most well-rounded superhero movies we have gotten so far. And I see why the first family, aka the Fantastic Four, have stuck around for as long as they have. It's because we just gravitate towards one of the characters, or like I gravitate more towards Johnny Storm at times than I do Reed. And sometimes I gravitate more towards Reed than I do Johnny Storm. Like it's a mixture, and it is a fantastic mixture. Pun intended. But I just wanted to say that about the Fantastic Four movie. Now I know it may not be as in-depth as I hyped it up to be, and I get that. But I am short on time because the road to Doomsday is almost underway. I mean, next week I'm starting to cover the X-Men. At the end of September, I'm going to start covering the MCU. That is crazy. That is a huge undertaking for me. So I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your kindness. If you want to just like and subscribe, that would be awesome. So that way I can make more of these videos. And even if you don't, I'm still going to make more of these videos and put them out there. So whether you want to follow along with the story, that is the real question. All right.